Jobs of any film I've ever seen. You've done a fantastic job with this movie.
Man, I appreciate it, Jimmy. Honestly, that's the spirit of Marty Supreme, Christmas Day, Marty Supreme, Dream Big, Marty Supreme, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet and the team behind Marty Supreme just pulled off one of the most simple but effective marketing campaigns in movie history. What started as just a movie about a...
There have been various iconic screams in movies and TV shows over the years, like this one from Home Alone, or the infamous primal roar by Arnie in Predator. But no other scream is as iconic as this one. This is known as the Wilhelm scream, and it's one of the film industry's longest running inside jokes, having been used in over 400 films. It's actually been in almost all of the Star Wars movies, as well as Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, and countless others. The Wilhelm scream got its name from a 1953 western called The Charge at Feather River. In the film, several men on horseback are traveling along a path in the hills when a character named Private Wilhelm stops for a brief moment to fill his pipe.
Wilhelm! Yeah, I'll just fill my pipe!
In that moment, an archer fires an arrow from behind the bushes and hits Wilhelm in the leg, prompting him to let out the now legendary howl. However, the scream wasn't deliberately named at the time, nor was it a famous sound by any means. That came later. It also wasn't the first use of the sound either, but we'll get to that. The sound remained in the Warner Brothers archives, and it was used on and off in the decades that followed, until it appeared on the radar of a film school student by the name of Ben Burt. Burt and his friend Richard Anderson found the scream hilarious, and would put the scream into their student films. And when Burt was hired by George Lucas's production company Lucasfilm to work on the sound effects for the first Star Wars movie, he took the opportunity to place his favorite scream sound into the huge blockbuster. Over the years, the two started sneaking it into tons of films as an Easter egg for each other, casually referring to the sound as the Wilhelm scream, named after Private Wilhelm from The Charge at Feather River. I mean, Burt loved it so much, he even did his own version in Return of the Jedi, where he cameos as a guard trying to stop Han Solo from passing.
Free!
And once other sound designers started to notice its use, they joined in, partly to save costs and avoid having to do original recordings themselves, but also because they wanted to be part of cinema history and speak this shared language. In a way, it's very similar to how the Dies Irae melody became a meme among composers to represent death, something we made a video about if you want to check it out. Except in this case, it was by sound designers as opposed to composers. So I said earlier that even though the Wilhelm scream got its name from the character in The Charge at Feather River, that wasn't the first use of it. So what is the origin of the sound? Well, when Ben Burt had tracked it down in the Warner Brothers archives in order to use it, he saw that it was labeled Man Bitten by Alligator and Screams.
Man getting bit by an alligator and he screams.
And eventually found that it was referring to a 1951 western called Distant Drums. In the film, several people are wading through a swamp until an alligator shows up and drags one of them underwater, resulting in the first ever instance of the Wilhelm scream in the wild. According to a note in the archive, during the making of the film, several voice actors came to the studio to record overdubs, one of which was singer and actor Sheb Wooley, who would later write the hit song The Purple People Eater.
One-horned flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me.
Burt was pretty convinced that Wooley must have been the voice behind the scream, as he also appeared in the movie itself, but by the time he thought to get confirmation, Wooley had already passed away. Instead, he managed to get in touch with his widow, who couldn't conclusively confirm it, but did say that Wooley always used to joke about how great he was at screaming and dying in films. So that was as much information as was available about the scream until 2023, when the tape of the original recording was found in the University of Southern California's sound archives. Craig Smith, who found the tapes, released the short session to the public, which involves Wooley doing a couple of screams, before getting some direction on how it should sound.
The first one you did up here was much better.
Oh!
Not an owl, a real scream of pain.
And then finally letting out the scream that we all know, followed by two very similar ones. And so now we can definitively say that it was Sheb Wooley who was behind this legendary scream. What started out as a joke between two friends has evolved into a meme and a rite of passage for generations of sound designers. And while the sound design is an often overlooked part of the movie-going experience, this Where's Waldo-like angle of listening out for the Wilhelm scream has helped bring attention to this incredibly artistic branch of movie production. If you'd like to watch our videos on the DS Irae melody or the THX sound in which Ben Burt was
I didn't know where I just.
Brother, reverse the roles.
What's your thoughts on the Nina Lynn situation? Let's say two niggas held your mom, your aunt, your sister down, and one nigga was working in her face like this and shaking me.
You lying on me, trying to destroy my image, bro.
The fuck? Nobody give a fuck about that ugly ass nigga and his fucking relationship.
Like I'll right now.
This generation had the internet as our personal playground, but today, attraction, attention, and intimacy don't happen in private no more. Everything is clips and comment sections. They turned lust into the greatest form of currency. Sexual pursuits have become content, and we have at this point crossed every boundary where we've normalized this content playing out in the most modern and public ways possible. We got OnlyFans, Hinge dating pros, red pill and pink pill. Love or lust is no longer just a vibe between two people. It's all about clout, clicks, drama. Everything's for the fame. All this lust culture glorifies this chase and validation with no respect to the viewers who are most likely kids. They start treating this streaming like a GTA 5 RP lobby, now everyone acting crazy. We have for real lost the plot. Like, is yearning even a thing anymore? Everything is like developing into a dystopian society. I just seen a clip of Deshae Frost getting head on stream.
Nah, bro.
And I just can't stay quiet about the generation of lust. Who's head on stream? Like developing into a dystopian society. I just seen a clip of Deshae Frost getting head on stream again, and I just can't stay quiet about the generation of lust. We started off with streamer Tylil getting publicly accused of SA by the newly eviscerated content creator Jordan after the Streamer Awards. Most people already been here and heard about all these allegations since Tylil hopped on stream with a RICO case of proof defending his own name, and there was no surprise that the supposed victim hit the deactivation of doom once the whole internet caught on to her bulbul. This whole situation blowing up in everyone's face should be the perfect example that the internet is not your friend. If you're not going to hold yourself accountable, somebody will, because people love engagement. Engagement brings drama, and drama brings money. Tylil's personal life of course gets brought into the conversation, including the fact that he had a girlfriend when this all went down, dragging this whole thing from just a one-night stand or one claim to cheating into career-ruining allegations, and not a single Clover boy defended this nigga. People's lives are being genuinely affected, and the clip pages just see this as another opportunity to just hate farm against whoever they want. Them captions be literal spells. You can go live and then you gotta have a clip later unrelated to your whole live stream, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, they could just put the most misleading shit and have a chunk of the internet spiraling. All of this just because of some lust. Your favorite streamer can make a bag off your ignorance and parasocial behavior, and you're lost in the sauce, eating it up, about to donate another 5 gifted on that credit card, knowing damn well your mom probably needs the money. We in the do it for the Vine era all over again. I just seen Clav run over some random dude for hopping on top of his car. No matter what else fails, if you want to blow up, just be ignorant as hell, because you could just beg for forgiveness later on. It's really baffling. Nina Lynn was perma-banned after her reign of terror on the Twitch community, but she should have stayed banned because the second clip circulated online showing her display of SA on a young man. Are you serious? Mind you, she was unbanned that same day. It's almost like there's never a right or wrong, because in this exact case where the roles were reversed, it took an army of people for this situation to ever be addressed with actual evidence showing her not giving a fuck whether it's content or not. She just gonna do what she wants. Twitch loves their women. It's a part of every nook and cranny on their damn platform, so no matter what they do, it's like they damn near gotta commit mass sleeping on the world to get any type of real punishment. It's perceived that because he's a man, he's just supposed to want these girls all over him,
mission
and
is
then it's just
that.
turned into a funny clip where they could flip the script and call him a My Little Pony boy. Like, bro, not everything is a clip. Not everything is scripted. Please lock in. Then there's the case of Deshae Frost, who went viral for trying to quote-unquote riz a woman in public. Like, he's genuinely the definition of sexual harassment versus riz. He was streaming and saying some crazy ass ish to this girl, which I'm not even gonna repeat before he tries to take down my channel. So I'm gonna just show you the clip.
Like, I'll right now. With your mom? Oh, I'm so sorry. But can I get your number? Get some food? No?
This interaction was turned into content, and the internet started picking sides again. So of course, we
No.
No.
had the weirdos in defense, others called it disrespectful, and the people who just don't really care. And at that point, you might as well just be defending him too. Deshae's concept for the majority of his life has revolved around women. If no woman existed, well, we wouldn't exist. But neither would Deshae Frost's time on the internet. I will admit, I was watching bro way back when he was just vlogging. But I gotta say, since becoming a streamer, he's really pushed every line and got away with it. Having sexual relations multiple times on stream, sexualizing his family for a quick buck, and then even with the rebrand, bro is back at it again. Accident or not, this is wild as hell. So I really hope through all these examples you get what I mean. Clout is one hell of a drug, and the need to be in this constant space of disguising love and attraction for just outright sexual fantasy bait for your viewers is the opposite of confidence and the opposite of self-respect. Nevertheless, I know this will go over a lot of folks' heads, and for those that already heard it, let the message sink in again. The majority of these influencers are not here to influence you for the right reasons at all. With
Why he talking?
streamers always having the cameras on, it's like modern day reality TV. So if you wonder why the Kardashians are famous, I imagine it looked a lot like this, except no streamer got a tape leak yet. At least that I know of. You can type in any streamer's name, they got a ship for it. Attraction has made things performative as hell. Sexual and vulgar things are being normalized for the public. Identity and validation has become about flipping narratives. What happened to just, hey, welcome to YouTube, you know? Just genuine content creators. They've monetized and made being a bot cool, and with all the cases I named, it's like no one knows when to just turn the cameras off. Y'all need to be more like Flight and realize we're all on the same side. We are all human, but the internet has tried desensitizing the connection completely. On the bright side, we still got positive spaces and creators for audiences to enjoy, but the algorithm about messy as hell. It's always gonna prioritize our weakness, and for most of y'all, it probably is lust, and that's how they get you. Even the words used to describe sexual matters is all aggressive and over the top. For example, gooning. I thought goons were like thugs, not milking yourself at 3 in the morning. Then there's getting crushed or getting smashed. Why are these even a thing? That sounds violent as hell. This is not the WWE. And then you got comment sections of people talking about eating up and getting ate up. Shut y'all freaky asses up. We spent so long making this shit normal, it's almost engraved in our coding. Shut y'all freaky WWE. And then you got comment sections of people talking about eating up and getting ate up. Shut y'all freaky asses up. We spent so long making this shit normal, it's almost engraved in our coding to just be hornballs since birth. But maybe one day, we gonna see another great shift. Maybe we'll see that validation isn't the same as connection. Maybe we gonna see that intimacy should belong to humans, not your corny ass captions. And for the love of God, stop gooning, you fucking animals. It's time we start calling all this shit out. We been lost the plot. Let's just get it back.
I know there's somebody who loves me.
Alright, what's going on guys? It's Jeb, back here over on some more Elden Ring. So in the last video, I moved my way through this Castle Ensis area, got some more upgrades and stuff. I didn't play very long. I spent most of the video beating Rolana and then just like running around in circles over here to get the upgrades and stuff. Beat the Hippo, and now I'm over here in the Shadow Keep where Mesmer is. Gaius is in the back. The Flower over here is also in the back. There's a lot of bosses to do here. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. Alright, what's going on guys? It's Jeb. As you guys pretty much have seen, FaZe Clan is over. FaZe Clan ended. It's gone. It's done. So where to start? So on the 25th, all of the guys that were recruited for, I guess like the new restructuring thing, I guess we could call it, they ended up dropping the majority of people, which I already made a whole video on that, and I felt a certain type of way, but I had hopes for like all the new guys and stuff like that. And I mean, ultimately, it seems like they've been very successful. From what I understand, everyone's popped off. So FaZe, as you know, the company and the logo and just the name in general, still does its thing. Back in the day when you joined FaZe, that was basically your ticket into turning this whole like internet thing, especially at that time gaming wise, into an actual career. And back in 2014, Apex ended up reaching out to me and gave me a chance and everything, and ever since that point my life had changed. And over the years, as time went on, there's been a whole lot of different like iterations and versions of FaZe, and just the way that the internet is in general, the way content is, there's all sorts of different eras. It's not just the FaZe eras, it's like the internet eras as well, and things change over that time. But for FaZe, it was always important for them to at least keep a hold of some people that still represented the original idea. So I always just, you know, stayed in the team, mostly out of respect for everybody, regardless of all like the controversies and whatever other crazy stupid shit everybody's getting involved with. This is why I don't do any of this business stuff. I don't really give a fuck about none of that. It was always about gaming in the end for me. So it was mostly out of respect for people like, especially Apex as well. Rain as well is another big, what I consider like a mentor. Now that said, just because I stayed in the team out of respect for them and everything, things got very messy there anyway though, because it was never, eventually it got so weird and murky with people selling or stealing the company or whatever. I don't even understand, dude. I'm having journalists hit me up and shit asking me like, hey, is this accurate? Aren't you the fucking journalist? I have no idea. In this whole like YouTube space, like I got friends, but everybody knows, like anybody that knows me, they could probably say the same kind of situation. Like I'm not that close to a lot of people. I keep to myself, I do my own thing, I live my own life. And that was my goal at the end of this whole thing anyway, was to just do as much as I possibly could through gaming and gaming only, and that's it. So once all these bigger deals started coming in, content houses started getting made. I visited the FaZe house once, but everything was still like mainly gaming and stuff. There was like vlogging and stuff, but it was still based around gaming mostly. And then it veered like even further away from that, which is completely fine. But at that point, like I'm just not really, that's not really my space. I don't really care. So I've always been like at least arm's distance from virtually every single person in FaZe and anybody else. I mean, if it makes anyone feel any better, I do that with everybody. It's not specific to FaZe, but I don't want to travel the world. I don't want to make like 5 million fucking friends. I don't want to make business partners and shit like that. I don't do business. I really don't. I got the one sponsor with G Fuel because I actually drink it, and past that, I really don't look for anything else. Any sponsorship and business related stuff that I would take or undergo or create or something, I have no will to create anything. There's a whole lot of people that are telling me, oh dude, just take over FaZe Clan and start recruiting people and turn the ship around and stuff. Dude, even if I could do that, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a leader. I would genuinely, I'm not joking, I would rather be a part of a group and not be the leader and lose than be the leader and win. I don't want to lead. I don't want to lead so much so that I would rather lose under somebody else's leadership. Don't want to lead. I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to create something that other people could potentially depend on. I don't want to do it. I don't have the passion for that kind of thing. I got the passion for what it is that I do specifically, and that's it. So people are asking, am I leaving FaZe? Am I staying in FaZe? I didn't really know how to explain it, but you can't leave a team that is literally over. It's done. It's gone. You can't leave a team that doesn't exist. I'm making that sound like it's dramatic or like a bad thing. In truth, of all the ways that this could have ended, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of perfect for a lot of the people here that are involved with FaZe, especially behind the scenes and stuff. It seems like a whole lot of people have a whole lot of like beef with each other and money conversations and contract splits. By the way, I just have to note this here. Under the entire time that I was in FaZe, I'm like 99% positive I never even saw a contract anywhere. I never even saw a contract. I was never asked of anything or like a percentage of anything. This is also through all of the time of like them selling and like having like new leadership or whatever, whoever's owning it. I have never been approached by the original leaders. I've never been approached by the new owners of any of these with a contract. I have never been approached, period, about a contract. From the very beginning, it's no strings attached. The most organic membership you could possibly have. I didn't get signed to FaZe. I joined FaZe and I stayed. That's it. I didn't get signed to shit. A lot of people go and look at these organizations like they're getting signed to like some sort of NFL team or some shit like that. You guys look at this space like it's way more professional than it actually is. I don't think you guys recognize, well, maybe you will, how shitty this entire like esports / organizational stuff is. It is messy as fuck, and most of it was ran by literal kids back in the day. People have no idea what the fuck they're doing, and I'm not just talking about FaZe either. FaZe's reputation has been in the gutter for I don't even know how long. I was on like an upward trajectory 3 as is already, and Apex found me, saw me, kept an eye on me, and eventually ended up recruiting me to the team, which sent my momentum into a whole other stratosphere at the time. And now today, I have over 5 million subscribers. I can go and post and upload anything and everything that I want. I've uploaded over 4,000 videos, hundreds well before I even joined FaZe. I could say without a doubt, like, I am in just such a good headspace, just healthy. I have a really good way of like reframing it and stuff, and over the years, I'm happy it's taken this long to really get here, because I'm not really sure how I would have handled it, you know, a few years back or whatever, but I think that it ending like this, I think this is one of the cleanest ways possible. You know, wipe our hands clean of this whole thing. Here's to the future, you know? That said, all that's basically gonna change on my channel is a grand total of 2 things. My name on YouTube and my bio on Twitter. And I think that's it. So all I'm gonna do is change 2 things on the channel. Nothing in the content is changing whatsoever. A lot of people already say they don't consider me a part of FaZe or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But regardless, overall, FaZe means a lot of different things to a whole lot of different people. And maybe some people are just gonna tune out whenever they hear that. They don't really know what that means. But the idea of FaZe to me had a lot more to do with like the original gaming stuff and the entire like culture around that. All the flexing and shit, regardless of how much money I've made over the years, has never really been my thing. I understand that that's like super entertaining for a whole lot of other people, and that's what FaZe is to them. But for me, that's not really what it was. So everybody's got their different ideas of FaZe, but I just want to thank every single person in FaZe throughout all the years, whether we interacted a lot or did. I'm proud of you guys. Those of you I remember, those of you who I don't, those of you who I don't even know if you were ever in the team or not, I don't even know. I've been distant for so long. I mean, I paid attention to it. No, I still know generally what's going on. I'm on the internet all the time. It's not like, you know, I'm sitting around on some boat or some shit. I'm sitting here gaming and I'm on the internet. I see it. I know. You know, I've talked to Apex. I've talked to Rain. I've talked to other people in the team, Scope as well. Yeah, it seems like everybody is just ready. So that's me touching on the FaZe thing. I don't have any tea. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I ain't saying no names, none of that shit. I don't know anybody. I can't speak on none of that. I just hope the best for all of you, and a lot of you guys managed to get out of all that evil ass money shit, because that shit is poison, man. Genuinely it is. Now watch me absolutely slam Mesmer in this boss fight.
I don't know.
All right, what's going on, guys? It's Chet, queuing up for my revenge tour against the balancers right now. I'm commencing the expedition. Hopefully.
So, Ryan, you excited, man?
The fastest, noisy fans that take up a lot of heat, and that's what we've built here. We invented some new technology that goes hand in hand with this graphics card. The first one we call GPU Boost, which boosts your clock speed when you're playing certain games. So here's how GPU Boost works. We used to set our clocks based on the power consumed when you're running a really stressful application. Well, we found there's a lot of 3D games that actually don't consume that much power. So what do you do with that extra power? Well, what GPU Boost does, it lets us convert that power into increased clock speeds, and we do it automatically. The result is when you're playing a game, you'll get a boost in your GPU clock that'll result in increased gaming performance. It's really awesome, and you gotta just check it out. To make your gaming experience smoother, what we did is we invented technologies on the AA side. We're gonna call it TXAA, and it really gets rid of all the jaggies in the game, but it doesn't take a performance hit. So you can have great image quality, but really fast, smooth gaming performance. We've also made some advancements in the area of physics. So previously we had our Apex destruction module. And if you wanted to have this type of destruction in a video game, what the artist would do was pre-compute the fracture. And then once you're in the video game, if you shot the pillar, it would fracture in a specific way. What we're looking at here is dynamic fracture. Nothing is pre-computed. It all happens in real time. Whenever you shoot this pillar, it will never break the same, ever. Now let's look at what we've done with fur in video games. Now, if you wanted to build a beast like this before, you'd have 100 hairs and you interpolated between all the hairs. And you guys have seen it. You've seen lots of characters where it just doesn't look realistic, or you see bald characters in video games, or they have, plastic looking hair. Well, here we're simulating 100,000 hairs in real time. And you can see it just looks super realistic. We can even do some really cool effects like these hair dryer effects that we're looking at right now. So once again, just adding more realism to video games. And then finally, we wanted you to have a richer experience. So things like 3D Vision Surround off of a single graphics card or a single GPU, and even support up to 4 displays. So there you have it, the GeForce GTX 680. It's the fastest, most efficient GPU we've ever built. The first one we call GPU Boost, which boosts your clock speed when you're playing certain games. So here's how.
Please don't use the improvements on this map. Please don't use the improvements that spawn on this.
Oh, I can't.
Joe Bart stream? Yes. Look at this. I just think that a chill desktop segment, some of my favorite segments, obviously the IRL shit is fun, the group segments is fun, but some of my favorite segments are being able to just sit here and talk to y'all, or when it's just me and Gilly and we're just going around fucking around the crib and stuff. I think if I sat down here and I just jumped on a call with Joe, right, on Discord, and we got mad philosophical, right? Y'all know Joe Bartolozzi. You for sure have seen him on TikTok at some point. I really want to do something with him.
I think he's a fucking great guy. I used to watch him when I was a kid. I'm not saying he's old. I'm just saying, I'm 23. He's a little older than me. Anyways, I used to watch Adapt if you're here, brother. I love you, man.
He's just like, how is he 23?
Awards was awesome. What we do for, fucking your audience in general, mental health, all that other shit, bro. You're a great guy. You used to collab. I would fucking love to collab with.
Let's do it, bro. I would be down. Joe's a really good dude too, bro. And every time I see him on my For You page, he's always spitting facts. So I feel like if we got in a Discord, right, Flock, and we did y'all, do y'all remember when we did the Fan stream, right? And Gilly was in the backseat, and me and Fan were talking about in the traffic segment, different philosophies and shit like that. Imagine if we just had a conversation like that. I feel like that'd be fire. Sky full of stars.
Guys have a lot of aspirations for this new year, which is it's great, but well, I guess I'm here to talk about some unsolicited life advice. Let me start off with a concept one of my high school teachers taught me that I took for granted. In your college/adult life, you'll be faced with a choice, and a difficult choice at that. You have to choose 2 out of 3 core areas of your life to focus on, and these are a social life, good grades, and money. You can have friends and good grades, but you'll be broke. You can party and make money, but your grades won't be that good. Or you can study and make money, but your life might seem empty. Now let me use myself as an example.
I'm onto something. There we go. Oh shit! I'm onto something though.
I don't know how to do this, bro.
All right, see now we're fucking. Yo, this shit is hard already.
How to explain this? I went through New York, met my mans, and then how like Samsung, gotta focus, real thesis. Nicotine and make me weak, but my wheel out Turtle Beaches. But my wheel out Turtle Beaches.
Big head desktop icon.
Yeah. I'm so fried, and it's classic. It's Channel 5 and Hunter Biden. Just a bunch of young niggas doing drugs, cause that shit is exciting. Used to want Supreme, I had to find a way to buy it. Why can't women say handsome? They say fine shit. It's historic in my bloodline, we conniving.
This is Betty Brown's first day at Pinkston, but rather than coming on the bus, her mother brought her.
Right.
Why?
We didn't know where to catch the bus at.
Are you nervous about Betty's being here?
Yes.
Why?
Well, it's always the first time.
What about you, Betty? Are you nervous?
Uh-huh.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of the kids yet?
No.
What are you nervous about?
No, nothing. I've been in a new school that I don't even know.
Do you think it'll be a long time before Pinkston becomes your school rather than just a school you're attending?
Yes.
More so than if you were at an all-white school?
No.
That doesn't bother you?
No.
Does it bother you, Mrs. Brown?
You mean about it being an all-colored school? No.
Do you think it's bothering many of the parents?
Yes, definitely. Oh, it bothers me that my kid has to change the district, is all. As far as going with a colored, no.
Well, it might be all right. I think the same thing, too.
You think it's going to be okay?
I don't.
Why not?
I don't. Because the first day that I went out there, well, we had a scramble, you know. But it was okay.
You expecting a scramble today?
Well, not so far, but I think I'll make it. A little, I hope.
Does it bother you to be riding a bus?
No.
You think most of the kids are going to go to school today, or are they going to stay home and wait and see what happens?
I think most of them will go today. It'll be all right, just as long as there don't be no trouble.
You're going to Skyline now, right?
Righteous.
What do you think about this busing thing?
Well, I think we'll make it the first few days, but the rest of them will be kind of tough.
Why is that?
Well, some of the students are hanging out to see how things going on, and most of them are troublemakers.
The ones who are hanging out?
Yeah.
So when they start coming to school, you think it's going to get bad?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will.
What do you expect?
There's gonna be a lot of fighting.
Are you concerned for your daughter, or is she concerned?
Well, I'm concerned for her, and I think she's concerned for her education.
Laverne just talked to your mother, and she said you're a little concerned, are you?
I'm very much concerned.
Why?
Oh, because I want to be sure and very, very. I want to be very sure about this here, and I want them to really know what they're doing. And I think that it will work out if everybody cooperate together, because, I mean, this is not probably their first time. I mean, you got to be together sometime, and I don't think it's no problem if everybody cooperate.
Well, I haven't understood yet exactly what it is you're concerned about.
Oh, well, I'm concerned about my schoolmates and everything, and I'm concerned about how we'll be treated and everything like that, and very much concerned about the education what we're going to receive. And
Are you concerned about your education?
Concerned about my education, very much.
Okay, thank you.
Start.
How long do you think it'll take before Pinkston becomes their school instead of a school they're going to?
Well, as soon as they start, because it's not hard here. I think they'll make friends real fast. I think they will.
How long will it be before Pinkston becomes your school?
I don't know.
How long will it be before Pinkston becomes your school rather than just a school you're attending?
Now, because it doesn't matter what school you go to, it's going to be the same. You get your education just the same. So.
Okay. Oh, this last one was wild, but more on that later. There is only one way to truly gain a spider's trust, and it's through their stomach. Now, Earl was eating crickets before, but there is one food she simply cannot say no to. So to conquer that first goal and win Earl's trust back, I'm offering her a bottle fly. She hasn't taken food directly from me since we moved house, and as I sit here, fly in hand, nothing changes. 3 minutes pass by, and still nothing. But it seems that the lure of a tasty meal is too much for our little arachnid, and Earl makes her way over. I will never get bored of that little face, even when she has a fly in her mouth, and I'm counting this as a huge win, but it's only half of the battle, and the real test of trust is whether or not she will let me hold her again. Okay, baby steps. We are ending the day with Earl climbing back into her terrarium, and we will try again in a few days. It's day 4, and for the first time since day 1, Earl is out of her terrarium. I extend my hand out to her, and without the promise of food, surprisingly, she climbs on. Are we really back at pre-house move bonding levels? Well, if she completes this next challenge, I can tick off the first 2 goals. I'm going to create a bridge between 2 chairs. At one end is me, and on the other end is Earl. If Earl can walk the length of the bridge and climb on my finger, she will get a reward. But the catch is, she doesn't know that she's getting a reward. So let's test this out. I cannot believe I did that. Now she's understandably nervous and moves to the side of the bridge. I make some gestures at the other end, and Earl begins to make her way over. The likelihood is that she has now associated my big moon face with food and is feeling a little hungry. Earl has now reached the other side of the bridge and approaches my finger. The first attempt doesn't work and she wanders off. Undeterred, I try again, and fail. Come on, Earl, I'm not going to hurt you. At the third and final attempt, Earl slowly crawls onto my finger, and I think we can tick off the first 2 goals. I almost forgot, I promised you a prize, Earl, and here you go. But just as I thought that we were in a good place, a big fat problem gets thrown into the works. It's day 10, and now Earl has stopped laying the phone down. Let me explain what this problem is. Jumping spiders molt, which is where they grow too big for their exoskeleton and have to literally break out of it. The process is easier and safer when they're younger, but as the spider gets older, the risk of a bad molt increases, and the final molt is the time when most people lose their jumping spiders. For this process, Earl has made herself a little hammock and she will stay in here until it's complete. I checked back every day, and the only sign that she was okay was that she had changed position slightly. It's only when your spider's life is in danger that you realise just how attached you should become. and I can't help but feel a little helpless as she goes through this process all on her own. But in the interest of optimism, and with all fingers and toes crossed for Earl, there is the third goal to complete, and there is someone that I would like you to meet. This is Toe Jam, Earl's potential boyfriend. Here he is next to a peanut, and here he is next to a tomato. Toe Jam is smaller, darker, and has his romance tools right next to his mouth. More on that later. Toe Jam has no idea that his girlfriend is in the middle of a life or death battle, but as a warm-up, let's see how he reacts to a video of Earl. The meeting of two jumping spiders is dangerous. Females are bigger, stronger, and in the worst case scenario, can actually eat the male. Toe Jam is well aware of some movement and gently approaches the screen. He starts to climb on, but Earl moves in the video, which causes him to jump back. Come on, buddy, compose yourself. But this is one smart spider, and it's clear that he knows something isn't quite right, and here's why. Jumping spiders have insanely good vision with their 8 eyes and their ability to sense depth. While a 2D video with a female jumping spider on there does grab his interest, it doesn't take Toe Jam long to realise that this is actually not a real spider. He climbs around on the screen for a bit before scarpering away, and we end day 16 with a new member of the Worcester Terrarium's family. But there has been a development, and it requires our immediate attention. Earl has been on her web for over a week without eating or drinking, and as I checked on her this morning, I had a feeling something was about to happen. Her little silhouette moves around in her web, and over the course of 30 minutes, she breaks out of her exoskeleton and successfully molts. But we are not out of the woods just yet, because on the morning of day 20, I made a discovery. I promise you that if you ever get a pet jumping spider, you will go through a roller coaster of emotions during its short life. Like if you find a random leg in their terrarium. And I didn't find just one. Now this is reminding me of my first ever jumping spider, Aerith, who died just 2 days after her final molt. So when I found Earl lying motionless on a leaf this morning, my heart sank. But don't worry, because Earl is fine and had just kicked her old exoskeleton out of her web. The molt has been a success and the most dangerous part of Earl's life is over, but the most dangerous part of Toe Jam's life is about to begin. Everything on this journey has led to this moment, and if it doesn't work, he will get eaten. As he climbs out of the film canister, I have an overwhelming urge to stop the process and keep them both safe. But as Earl has trusted me during her entire life, it's time that I trust her. Toe Jam spots Earl and runs over to her, and the window of intervention has now passed. It's down to them. The seductive dance begins and Earl watches on. As he gets closer, she backs off, and as he retreats, she moves forwards, legs raised and fangs revealed, and I do not know if this is in defense or if she's accepting his invitation. And then she chooses. Earl allows Toe Jam to climb on her, and for the next 10 minutes, the spiders roll around in the film canister and successfully mate. But if you thought that watching spiders do it was strange, well, it's about to get a whole lot stranger, because in the throes of passion they spill out onto the table, and suddenly, Toe Jam becomes aware of me. Each time I adjust the focus on my camera, he lunges forwards with his arms in the air. Toe Jam, man, I am engaged and Earl is all yours. Now, amidst all of this X-rated spider footage, I almost forgot, we can tick off the final goal, and as a gentle reminder of the journey we've been on together, Earl steps onto my thumb, and look how cute she is. She hops back into her terrarium, very likely pregnant, and of course, this is not the end of the story, but there is one more thing I'd like to ask from you. I've written 2 books about terrarium making. If you would like to support baby jumping spiders.
Rekaman pada foto They leave. Better come up with on the road. People see me on the road. I'm always on my phone. Hey. I'm gonna cook. They pay me to stop. I got it at the top. God. Let me take two and I'm on my way. This little ass. Hey, let's do this looking like. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Bro, where are the weapons, bro? Yes. I just knocked that shit down like a Neanderthal. What Pulling up right